I'm back. My computer couldn't handle it. So what I was saying is, I think if there were referees in Ultimate, I think a lot of school counties, I think a lot of leagues and stuff like that would actually pop up. I'm not talking, because right now, if you're under the age of 15 in Ultimate, you really have nowhere to play. You might show up and play at your summer league, but everyone there is like 8 years older than you, and it's just a little weird. I think if you add referees in the sport, I think then you could get stuff behind pushing it to become in high schools more than just like in the big areas, the Northwest and Northeast. I think you could get it to be where kids could find leagues like to play with kids their age. So I think actually adding referees would actually expand the sport more. I mean, how many times have we gone on ESPN? I think going on ESPN and showing Ultimate Frisbee highlights, I think that might be the best marketing you could have, because how many kids watch ESPN? So many. And they see a highlight of Ultimate, they have no clue where that is. You might have 5, 10 kids from right there be exposed to Ultimate for the first time. I'm sorry, but Ultimate Frisbee tournaments, even though Next Gen is awesome and they put out great content, no like rando people that have never seen Ultimate before are seeing these things. It's not happening. So like getting on SportsCenter and stuff like that, that's what's actually bringing a lot of kids into the sport. Word of mouth right now is basically the biggest thing that's getting Ultimate more popular. That's really the only way of getting people to see the sport is saying, hey, do you know what Ultimate's about? Come out and try it out. So I think actually having referees is actually going to blow the sport up, to be honest with you. It like literally just, I think it would really blow the sport up. Consider what would happen if it became the norm to get away with a bunch of crap that the ref didn't see in the AUDL. I mean, right now, that's what's happening right now in normal Ultimate without observers. It's just you can get away with anything you want. Or to spike the disc on those plays. Okay, I'm not going to talk much about this because I could talk for a long, long time about spiking. But seriously, spiking is not an issue. It's not an issue. There's nowhere in the rule that says you can't spike the disc. If USA Ultimate wants to come out with a new rule edition and say that spiking is a TMF, then by all means, then we can say how bad spiking is. The NFL, there was nothing wrong with spiking until it got to the point where it was so extravagant and so crazy that they started fining people. I mean, it's celebration. We have a disc. Might as well use something with it. I don't care about spiking. Like I said, if someone skies the trash out of me, I'd much rather them spike it and lay it down right in my face while I'm on the ground than their whole team run on the field and start singing a song. That's just me. I don't think spiking a disc is bad spirit at all. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that at some point have spiked the disc out of just the greatest play they've ever made. You just made a huge play. By all means, and throwing the disc down on the ground is the same exact thing as throwing it in the air. They're both considered spikes. And I bet some people would say that throwing the disc on the ground is bad spirit, where maybe throwing a scuba back to the line isn't. I don't know. Enough about spiking. There's risk. This guy wrote a lot. There's a risk that playing Ultimate at every level would suck. Blah, 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 screaming. Okay, whatever. Like I said, dude, it's entitled to his opinion, but I think he ignores a huge part of why Ultimate works, what really drives participation, and what spirit of the game is. It's different at the open club touring level for sure, but most players I've known, even at the highest level, still fall more on the side of being honest and sportsmanlike than winning at the expense of the rules. Maybe Brodie doesn't play this way, but he's not in the majority. Let's keep it that way. Okay, so I just want to say right now too, I would say, and this is not to be arrogant at all, this is just a opinion of mine. I would say that I've actually have talked to maybe more people than anyone else about, to more people that have never played Ultimate, have never seen Ultimate, and are now playing it for the first time. I get a lot of emails, a lot of tweets and stuff like that from people that see my trick shots, and now they're starting to play Ultimate. And I'll tell you one thing that we've never talked about, and that's spirit of the game. So with the whole fact of like why Ultimate works is spirit of the game and stuff like that, these kids, spirit of the game is not bringing these kids into Ultimate. I'm telling you that right now. What's bringing these kids into Ultimate is the fact that it's a freaking fun sport to play. That's what's bringing them in, not this spirit of the game thing. And the thing is, too, is people will say, oh my God, Ultimate, like I played all these sports in high school and now I'm playing Ultimate and like I'm hanging out with all my teammates and stuff like that. And a lot of people say, oh man, it's the spirit of the game. All these guys, it's awesome, whatever, whatever. I'm saying right now, in cross country, I have 3 of my best friends are from my high school cross country team. We were super close. We were super close throughout high school. The atmosphere of that team was incredible. And it's very much so like Ultimate, like where it's a close-knit group, everyone does everything together. But there is no, quote, thing in cross-country. There's no runners for life. There's no we live, we run. There's no, like, spirit of the game in cross-country. But across the board, the cross-country community, the runner community, is a really close-knit thing. Surfing, you might be able to prove me wrong because there might be something in surfing. I'm not sure if there is. I would like to bet that there isn't a spirit of the game or something like that in surfing. But surfing's the same way, where it's a close-knit group. You can, if you're a huge surfer, you could go to California, and I'm pretty sure you could find someone's couch to crash on, just like an Ultimate. So I think a lot of Ultimate players like to hold the spirit of the game higher. But it's around in a bunch of different sports. They just don't name it anything. So, again, I don't think spirit of the game is what attracts people to the sport of Ultimate. I think the fact that Ultimate is freaking fun attracts people to the sport of Ultimate. I first started playing in high school. No one knew what spirit of the game was. No one cared what spirit of the game was. We actually just went out there and had fun because it's a freaking fun sport. And I think if someone actually knew about it and was out there and tried to teach us what spirit of the game was, I think our numbers of how many people have played, which was like, I think 50 to 60 a week, would probably go down. Because a lot of competitive people would start getting pissed that we're doing all these new things about like spirit and all this stuff, to be honest with you. That's my opinion. All right. Let's see what else we got going on. This other guy said something about agreeing with me. Let's see. I've seen guys make terrible calls with national champion playoffs on the line. Some guys even make their calls to know are wrong ones. Most don't, even with the game on the line. Okay, well, he's basically saying right now that he's seen spirit of the game not work, where people self-officiating doesn't work. But he's saying most of the time it doesn't work. I mean, we can estimate all the most of the time with just adding refs. This guy goes, another thing I'd like to point out is that I get the impression you've put more thought into this than Brodie. I don't know about that. This has been a big, huge thing to me for a very long time. Brodie makes his living via YouTube. He essentially has to put out videos every day / few days or he's boned. Even if he doesn't believe what he's saying, it still gives him something to talk about for 5 minutes to collect his paycheck. Okay, so to rest that, the video, I don't even know how many views it has, 2,000, 3,000. It took me probably with making the video, uploading the video, tagging the video, putting the description on the video, doing all those things to the video, it probably took me just over an hour to do, and I think I've made $5 off of it. So, these videos actually right here, I really don't make, like I said before, you make $2 per 1,000 views for the most part. And for the most part, my vlogs go anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 views. So that means on average I'm making like $10 off of these videos for the most part. So I don't think me sitting here talking to you and uploading this and spending 2 hours to do it, if I'm really looking at it on a money standpoint, is worth the $4, $5, $6 that I make. I'm doing this because it is my way of being able to express my opinions and talk to them to you guys and see what you guys have to do. So, I would say no to that. Let's see. I would like to add that when I play, I'm only thinking about winning the game. Okay, that's someone else. I agree with that. Speed of the game equals sportsmanship, which is in every other sport. But for some reason, Ultimate makes it less sportsmanlike because everyone feels like they have free reign to call whatever they want and make up for it with a spirit game at the end. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite, actually, in Ultimate, is like you'll play a game against a team, and you'll play a game against a guy that grabs your jersey, that calls travels on you that aren't travels, that calls pick calls on you when he's like 15 feet away. But because it's Ultimate and because there's spirit, oh, he's buddy-buddy with you at the end of the game. He's smacking your hand. He's giving you a hug. And most of the time, I'm taking it, saying, oh, yeah, man, those travel calls were bogus, but whatever. That's funny to me because I'm not one to no handshake people, even though I've definitely gotten no handshakes before. Surprise, surprise, right? But essentially what that means, for the most part, after every game, both teams, get in a line and shake hands. Doesn't happen pretty much in any other sport at the professional level or at the college level. College level, you have guys come down, give hugs and stuff to the people they know, but there's not like a single file line, people giving handshakes. And there's definitely been times where, you go through the line and the guy's like eyeing you, and then when you get up to him, he pulls his hand up because he doesn't want to give you a handshake. Whatever. I've never actually done that to anyone. I'll always give people a handshake. But I'm not going to be buddy-buddy with someone that literally just called a bunch of bogus stuff on me. I'm sorry. That's just how I am. So it's funny how this guy actually points that out because it's true. Let's see. It's ironic. Isn't it ironic that ex-UF player is talking about the spirit of the game? Yeah, I'm talking about how I don't like it and how I want referees and how I would love to have referees call my own calls so I don't have to do it. I would love that so much. I guess he's saying because we have I guess a lot of people think we're cheaters, so that's fine. But that's why I want referees, so whatever. Another person goes, yeah, ever watch Brodie play? Terrible spirit. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Someone tell me what that means. Terrible spirit. Is that because I like to win and I do whatever I can to win the game at the end of the day? I'm not going to I'm not going to pick you up and break you over my knee. I'm not going to viciously try to hurt you. I'm never going to try to do anything on purpose to hurt you. But am I going to try to do what it takes to win the game? Yes. I would do that because, to be honest with you, if you could tell me right now, Brodie, there's a couple other people that wrote stuff, but you can check it out from the leaks. But to end it all like this, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure most people would agree with me on this statement, is at the end of the day, if someone came up to me and said, Brodie, if you could start your college career all over again, and give back your 2 national championships, and give back your 4 trips to nationals, and give back everything that you accomplished in college, and trade it all in for being the most spirited player in Ultimate, would you do it? And I would answer, absolutely not. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And I'm sure... I mean, and you guys can be crazy out there. The people that are out there saying, oh my God, Brodie, you're such a douche and like you have terrible spirit. At the end of the day, if you really think about it, I'm pretty sure you would much rather win a national championship than be considered to have good spirit. It's bogus to think that, it's bogus, you're bogus to say that you disagree with that statement. And I don't know. If you agree with me, post in the comments. If you disagree with me, post in the comments. I'm curious as to what you guys have to say about this. But it always seems like, to me, it always seems like the people that, I don't know, I feel like there's so many people that are quick to just like, I don't know, it's just confusing to me because it's really frustrating that our sport puts more emphasis on spirit of the game this thing that doesn't exist in any other sport, this thing that it's not even like I said, it's really not a big thing in Elite Ultimate. It's not. It's not something that I'm pretty sure if you went to most Elite teams and said, "Hey guys, we're taking away the spirit of the game," I'm pretty sure everyone would still continue to play Ultimate. It's not the glue that's holding Ultimate together. The thing that's holding Ultimate together is, again, the fact that it's a freaking fun sport to play, and I love playing it. And that's the thing. I love playing it. I love my teammates. I love hanging out with them. The double wide roster just came out, and I've got guys texting me and talking to me and stuff, and I'm like, I can't wait to see you guys again. The relationships and stuff like that you make with your teammates is incredible. And I've made some of my best friends in Ultimate. I mean, some of the people that Goose, who's on the Alley Cats team, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was back in the day, I ended up playing on this team called Ronin, and it was a combo team with all the players in Florida, and it was meant to be a team that was going to, their idea was they're going to make quarters, and I quickly saw that the way we were going with the team, the arrogance on the team, all this stuff, I quickly saw that this team wasn't headed in the right direction, and so I ended up excusing myself from the team, and I played with my Florida teammates, and the team, ended up struggling. They didn't even make nationals, and for whatever reasons. But the biggest thing to come from that is the hatred that I got from some of the teammates, and one of the biggest things, and I'm not calling Goose out here, but one of the biggest problems was Goose and saying all this stuff. But when we actually talk to each other, I mean, we're now really, really good friends, and I think a lot of people, I think it's really easy for a lot of people to misinterpret or to just come up with their own ideas of who someone is and stuff. And I mean, some of the biggest, I mean, for example, Sam Canner. I'll make this example for me. Sam Canner. I've never actually talked to this guy. For those that don't know, Sam Canner was a captain he played high school. I can't remember where he played high school, but he's been playing high school, big name. Came out of high school, played on Carleton, was a huge part of their program, became a captain to them, and really was kind of like the big nemesis to Florida, right? When we played them, he was always like the big guy that we wanted to take down, whatever. Now he plays for Revolver, who just won a world championship, whatever. I've actually never spoken to Sam Canner outside of an Ultimate game, outside of making a call or having to argue with him. I've never actually spoken to him at all. But the fact is, I don't like the guy because he is, my competitor, right? But the fact is that I think if I actually would talk to him outside of Ultimate, I think we actually would have a lot in common. Because the dude's a straight competitor. I watched him play on the World's game at the World Championship, and the dude balls out. He plays hard. He's a nitty gritty guy, and it's easy for me to call him to my teammates and stuff like a douchebag and stuff like that for how he plays when we were playing against him. But at the end of the day, he probably is very similar to my personality and stuff like that, and I could definitely see probably us getting along. I'm sure he's going to watch this and laugh. Actually, he probably won't watch this. But I've just noticed that with a lot of Ultimate players before is you have these rivalries with them on the field, and you think that's who they are, and then when you actually meet them off the field, they're a completely different person. What is it? Is it Perkins? Perkins on Oklahoma Thunder? Apparently, a bunch of people on throughout the NBA, say that he's terrible to play on the court with because he's super mean, super aggressive, super chippy, all these things. But then off the court, he's the nicest person in the world. So I'm not saying I'm the nicest person in the world by any means. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying a lot of people act completely different than what they act like on the field. So whatever. I've talked enough. This is 30 minutes, but hopefully I answered some of the questions that people were asking. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm just gonna say what's on my mind and what I think. and it's okay to disagree and agree with me. It's fine. The thing with Spirit of the Game is I wanted to get it out there because I truly don't think it works at the high level, and I think it's something that we should address and talk about. So, a lot of stuff to talk about. I talked a lot. If you watch this whole thing, you're amazing. You guys are awesome. And post in the comments what you think, what you agree on, what you disagree on, and let's get the chatter going. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Peace. Man up.